we're going to the Indiana Military Museum. I don't know if some of you might not like this or might not follow this, but to me, I'm obsessed with this type of stuff. I love learning my history. I really intrigued by how everything went down in World War II. That's my, everybody's got the war they study a lot. That's mine. So let's check it out and see what y'all think.
There's something black.
This is all ammunition.
I'm not going to get into a lot of the mechanical stuff of this. I'd screw up a lot of the details anyways. This is a half track that we're looking at here. The things that hit me is the thin armor on everything. That was intriguing. I guess that wasn't, and I don't know what it was even shooting at. I guess it'd have been a lot of lighter artillery than what it is now. I don't know if they was getting shot at, but I don't know what the German big caliber was at the time. I don't know. I don't know my history enough on that to know if it was like 7.62 by 54 or what the Germans was shooting at the Americans and the Japs for that matter. I don't know what they were shooting either. The Italians or any of that. Them rollers are neat. I guess that's for bouncing through a trench. I don't know. I don't know what anybody know. Comment down below. But what I've studied World War II a bit, and what I get into is I don't get into the details of the equipment, even though I love equipment, but I get into the story of the peoples that got involved and stuff, and how it all come down. That's what I get obsessed with. And then where we fell short, what changed, what happened, what we won, what the victories we won, and then what was going on in the rest of the world.
I love that.
There's so much to learn here. But anyways, I love the equipment. And then we're getting ready to see a war reenactment, and Americans win. But you're getting ready to see, well, I shouldn't say Americans. There's British soldiers, there's Poles, there was, I think, some French suits in there and stuff. Everybody was involved, but you're getting ready to see a reenactment of it. I just thought it was pretty neat, and it might not look like amazing on video, but if you go there and witness that in person, holy cow! I'm telling you, my heart was racing through the whole thing. It was like, I don't know, it was amazing, and they're shooting blanks. All this is blanks, so anybody that's trying to, be a whistleblower or something on YouTube or something. This is all blanks. These are reenactment weaponry that they're using. It's all blanks. There's nothing deadly or promoting nothing deadly in here. This is all pretty much shooting roses and
I guess it's
jelly beans out. Yeah, I don't know how to appease somebody.
I guess when the stuff
offended
happens,
by
it's all
everything.
fold down. No, it don't fold down.
I'm telling you,
Go
go watch your reenactment sometime and read your history and learn and study. You'll be floored. I was floored, man. This really floored me. And at the end of this reenactment, there's a British soldier gets to talking to us. I didn't cover it, but we talked to that British soldier for probably an hour. Everybody kept hammering this guy with questions. He was a walking World War II history book. And he was holding a Stens. He gets to talking about his gun at the end. A Sten. Look up your Stens. He was really proud of the Stens. I think it was a 9mm, but it's a stamped out.
They was not made of much, was they?
I forgot what they could make. There's a mass-produced gun.
Stamp them out real quick to get them on the road, wasn't it?
The British.
Oh wow!
Made.
This is
I believe. Look it up for yourself. And look at that armor. The armor in this thing is about half-inch thickness. But anyways, I didn't cover much of the museum, but I highly recommend going to the museum. The museum is amazing. But I was so bitty. I was so bitty. I was so busy studying everything in this museum when I went through it that I forgot to record anything, pretty much. Just a little bit of the equipment and stuff, and that's about it. But there is so much amazing things in this museum. I highly recommend anybody that's in our area to go to the Vincennes. Go to Vincennes and go to the Indiana Museum. The Indiana, what was it? Military Museum. The Indiana Military Museum, sorry. But I highly recommend going to it. And this tank that's getting ready to fire up here in a minute, that's got twin Cadillac. I think V8s. It's got two Cadillac V8 motors in it. And I forgot what for transmission. They got two transmissions, two motors. And this tank, I don't even know what this tank's called. But I'll shut up.
See, they had all kinds of different stuff welded to it over the years.
This is an M5.
Oh, yeah.
You just weld something to it and they cut it back off when they didn't need it anymore.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
This is an M5 stool.
See, Daddy likes that mentality. You just take metal, make something out of metal, and then you just tack something to it and cut it back off when you're done. You don't have to drill no holes or nothing. Get your welder and a cutting wheel and you got her made. Look, this little guy.
Look, Jackson. There's another cool.
So something comes in that's supposed to stop it from penetrating this slot. Is that neat?
Yeah. Wow, can't believe how big these little tanks are. Like in the game, they're like big as a toy, but
That's because heavy tanks are massive.
I just want to see it now if they have one. You know what these do? These stop the enemy from penetrating in here.
See, if they fire in, this will ricochet it so it don't get in that seam right there.
But if they shoot right here, then they'll ricochet.
Oh, that's a guy to ask right there.
Well, what do you think?
What do you think, boys? Ask your questions.
Cool. I actually like it.
It's the first time you ever seen a tank, ain't it?
No, in real life.
Okay, we're going to go out here in the battlefield and shoot off a couple of rounds to get people's attention.
Oh, we're in the way?
Well,
I don't think that baby will stop that tank. Come on.
you'll know this time to move, don't worry.
Battle on yesterday.
Okay, then I'll be looking for you.
That work? Go, go.
Alright. He'll kick me in the back of the head.
I'm out at Louisville, but we do a lot of. I mean,
You're vocal. You're good. You're good at what you do.
thank you. I appreciate that. So this is my personal card, but we have our unit website for what we do. I do 82nd Airborne Division. But if you wanna, are you around here? Or?
No, I'm down south. I'm close to you.
Okay, yeah.
I'm down about halfway between Louisville and Evansville.
Okay, well, yeah, hell yeah. Just right close.
So
Yeah.
you just travel around the area doing this?
Like I'll be back up here for these the rendezvous. I do World War I, War II, Korea, Vietnam, Red War, whatever.
You do a lot of speaking parts too, don't you? Because your voice.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the other thing is, you'll see me out here. I'm yelling and running around because these are all my monkeys. So these are all my guys I have to worry about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, fellas.
Yeah, thank you,
ladies.
They're blank, so not fine. That's like
I love the way they sound.
oh yeah.
Oh, here's something. Send a rifle mouth.
Huh.
Send a rifle mouth.
Oh, here's the dragging one off. He's shot. Get him in.
Yeah, watch out, Norman. Come on, boys. Yeah, playing. I'm helping out.
She got possession. 500. 8 people.
Go out and get this guy. Good.
retaliate a little bit. Where'd it go?
I'm trying to overrun the trenches.
That's cool, American. There's only one guy down. I only see one dead.
Getting ready to rush you guys.
There, they finally woke up over there.
American. Oh.
What's going on?
What was it?
What the?
Oh, wow.
There we go. Germans are coming on.
Yep. I know it's time. We're gonna do something. Moving in.
Oh yeah, it's a fast one. Come on, go get him. Got a Jeep. No, those aren't mine. That's our Jeep. Yeah, that used to be right there. Quiet. Oh. I heard him as Jigsaw.
Oh, look, he's got the Jeep perched up over there.
Oh, thanks, sticker day. Oh, you won.
Sticker date out. Well, they really need him to go on. So laying them out where you can see them real good.
The what?
Laying them out where you can see them real good. Here comes the tank. Here comes the tank.
He's motion.
Oh, that's a guy driving the Jeep, the German Jeep.
Oh no.
You whooping their butt.
Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And these rocks are hard.
Died in a bad spot. Oh, here it comes.
Here comes the guy.
See, that's what they got on Patton for. Patton always followed the tank too close.
They got the Jeep charging.
Wow, that's a lot of farm.
Very Russian.
That's cool. He's standing up, take a shot.
There's a dead guy down there. Hey, what are you doing?
Cover fire. We're going in. Here we go.
Shit, that ain't good. I'm gonna get that big boy.
I think I'm one young enough to run.
I got Canadian back there. Oh, there's a Jeep.
Yeah. Here we go. We're rushing them, guys.
No.
coach. Oh gosh.
Come out with entrenching too.
Oh, I got a little grenade in there.
Yeah, I think they run out of ammo. Watch the left flank, they're running off. See him on the left hand side?
Go! Take the track!
Wait, look at me.
Boy picked a bad place to die if he let the clutch out.
Now they gave up.
Yeah, it's their last stand over there.
There's the window.
What'd he say?
Come with the hill!
Yeah, that's the French guy.
Rouse, cowboy! Go! Halt, halt, halt! Sit, sit, sit. Down helm, off. Equipment, off.
Crowd boy.
Crowd.
Let's go, get the prisoner
That guy's
down!
aim is shaking. Don't want to get shot.
Well, they usually shot us. He probably thinks he's getting ready to get executed.
So he's getting ready to do something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might make a fast move.
They need basic first aid. They can go.
There's a bunch of them. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
then
two
them all
more.
up. Yep.
This means 3 more. Oh, it's 3. I thought that guy was American. He was more independent. They've never been.
Stop! Halt! Shut up!
Stop.
This SS! Murderer!
Goddamn SS, I was
Yeah.
going to say.
I'm not a whole funny thing.
I was guessing that's why they're dressed differently.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that guy. Get the SS here. Get the Vermont over here. Come on down. Zwei Hikes kaputt.
Splitting them up.
They're good at speaking the German language.
Sergeant, keep me covered. Keep them covered. Hands on top of the heads. Where do you want this guy? SS is there. Huh? SS. Come on, hands on the head. No. Pizza. Not good? I know what you said. I know your head. That's that. Murderer. Come on.
That's a tall guy right there.
Search the guy.
Getting some information.
Oh gosh, he's in heck of shape, that one is.
Over. You don't have. Separate. You got all the alcohol. We're clear. Got it there. All right.
That one is
Separate the NCOs and the officers. Please break them. Halt. Halt. Right. The NCOs off. Keep them quiet. Keep them out that way. Go. I need one more hand. Come on. I got you. I'm gonna keep up. Where are you? Yeah, get up there with them. Got it. I got these guys. Come on, let's go. Make sure they keep up. All right, go. All right, get these guys off the field. Keep them lifted up. Ralph. Go, Captain. Come on, move it.
Good service, Jack.
Boot fucking broke it.
Hawking broke.
They're gonna kill these guys.
I doubt it.
We don't say nine.
All right.
I figured one of them tried to do something stupid, but I guess not.
Go on, Grandpa. Don't make it all the way down. Well, that's on you. Let's go.
Let's go. That's British, guys.
Ryan!
I guess that was the hurt guy.
Out! Ryan! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes our battle demonstration.
And they're rising from the dead up the trenches.
That's the afterlife.
If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to come up to the rope line and talk to the reenactors. Kids, after we secure the field, you can go out here and pick up the brass cartridge casings as souvenirs if you like. Make sure that they're spent and they're safe. If you have any questions on that, just show them to one of us and we can...
Oh, ours would never want any shells, would they?
You can take those
You don't want any
brass
gun- you
cartridge
don't want any
casings home as a
shells, do you?
souvenir. Now that they're shot, they're perfectly safe.
Let's go and ourselves.
Once we get the field secured, we'll drop it. Got off, ran in, blew up the pump house.
Garrett's gonna go to the
Supposed
left
to
of
go
the
back to the torpedo boats that were waiting.
All right.
But
Hold.
those torpedo
Hold
boats have
up.
been destroyed.
Hold
in the
up.
harbor by
Hold
German
up.
guns.
Aye.
The commandos actually went into the town, held up in the town for a while, but were eventually forced to surrender because the Germans threatened to kill all the civilians in the town if they did not. So they were taken prisoner. The raid was considered a success because they were after the dry docks. The nation of the big boats and corporates didn't have parachute into Norway. There's no one coming to get you. You have to either find a resistance and get out, or have a plan to get out, like making it back to the submarine or something that drops you off. So it really, for the most part, it really was a one-way trip for a lot of those guys that did it. And some of those actions were smaller commando units. They didn't send in the full 40-man unit. But the idea was, again, commandos are going to cause enough chaos and destruction to basically just confuse the Germans behind the lines. And they did that successfully. In 1942, Hitler ordered the commando order, which meant that anybody who was captured doing sabotage activity behind the lines, even though we were in uniform, anybody who was a commando got shot on sight.
Well, it turned out
So,
great.
they did cause enough destruction to the Nazi war efforts that they took notice. And the commandos really drove home the point. I don't have it on, but the Fairburn Sykes knife was probably their primary tool. Because, again, they were trained in silent and stealthy. And it really hammered home the idea that even behind the lines, you weren't safe. Because after a few of these commandos, it's one of the best weapons of the war. Now, you say that to people, and they're like, what? Because it wasn't a very good quality gun, okay? But this gun is very, very important to the war, because this is the gun that the French resistance were using. There were 5.5 million of these made, and they were dropped in all over Germany, France, to
resistance members used by the British commandos and British line troops, and really were instrumental in winning the war, simply because they...
Now this here is Big Mama. I took her picture in front of the this is the Patton tank, and it's a different era. I'm not familiar with, I assume, the Vietnam era. Those of you that know, comment down below. I never really followed it past World War II. Basically, and there's a Huey. Basically, I'm sure I'll step on a filling or two here. There's an F4 Phantom. That could haul the payload of a B-17 or more, I think. And it's a jet at one person. Two people, excuse me. And there's inside the motor of that was a straight 6, I believe, version of the Sherman tank. There's a Sherman tank, but I was hoping to catch a radial engine in it, but I didn't. And well, that's a Japanese tank. There's a General Patton called them the purple pissing Japs there. Yeah, didn't me. And if you're Japanese, I'm sorry. That was just a thing from World War II. But so there's a Jap. There's a Americans took over a Jap tank there, and there's a landing craft from the Battle of Normandy and all that stuff. There's a lot of wood in that boat, believe it or not. And there's Jeeps and knickknacks, and I can't make all this out on my editor. But and there's some new stuff. There's a Hummer and a big old gun toter over there. I don't know what that tank thing is.
Yeah, he's gonna park it right here.
That's 2 motors in it, isn't it? That's 2 motors in there, ain't it?
Twin Cadillacs.
Do you feel like you're driving a Cadillac? Is she set up with creature comforts?
There's lots of oil and grease and stuff.
Camera's about to die, but I want to get this Sherman on here. So that is, I'm right, that is why this is tall, because it's built around that big radial engine. See, look how much shorter the Russian T-34 is. Oh, look, it's busted. Wow. I don't know if you'd expect this out of a Russian tank or not, but come here and look at this. It's freaking busted. Look at the body.
Oh my gosh, it is busted.
These sound really cool. These things, they're 12-cylinder. Big, cool. They're just cool. Gosh, look how tall them Shermans are. You know, that's not good. No, really, that's not good as far as target. Mm-hmm. We just made so many of them and run the crap out of them, didn't we? Made a bunch of them and Patton run the wheels off of them, didn't he? This is so neat. Twin 6-cylinder. Them's probably about, what, 15-liter engines around? 30 liters of... There ain't nobody gonna piss it. Bitch at me for... Oh gosh, this thing's screwed. Made in USA. We must have made it. Hell, I don't know. Maybe this is. Part of them.
T K I N S O.
Now, I know there's people be sensitive about a few things on this or whatever. I don't care. I really don't care. If you're sensitive on this type of situation, you're living in a bubble. I'm sorry for you. I understand that the way society works now, there's a lot of people questioning the postmodernists and stuff, or questioning the way things are and all this yada yada. But I'm going to tell you, the way humans are made, the chemicals that humans are made of, and all this stuff goes way back. So you could try to censor all this out of our history, or whatever you want to do, or however you feel about all this, or however. I hope I don't get in trouble for this, sharing this on YouTube or whatever, but if I do, shame on you. And if you turn me into YouTube, shame on you, because this is how we all get to do what we're doing here, because of the brave people that done this stuff way back when. And just for the record, Logger Wade will come out and say it. If we'd have listened to General Patton at the end of World War II, and we'd have marched ahead, and now if you're Russian and you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And those of you that don't, read the Gulag Archipelago. But General Patton was right. We should have marched in on Stalin and took care of that right when it's over with, and it would have changed the whole atmosphere of this world. And Korea wouldn't have happened, Nam wouldn't have happened. The thing with China probably would have went sooner. We'd be dealing with China sooner than what we have been because of this stuff. But I don't know, there's a lot of unknowns, and somebody that can answer them questions would be a lot smarter than me. But I'm telling you, read your history, know your history, respect your history, because it does repeat itself. Who was the... I'm probably wrong here, but it goes way, 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 way back. What was Philip, Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar and the Celtics, and then us, the Americans and Indians, and the British and all that stuff, and everything in the whole 9 yards. This stuff repeats itself. It repeats itself because nobody reads their history. And it's terrible today because it's not cool to read your history. It's not cool to share something like this online. And that's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. When we was at this reenactment, and I am kind of partial to this type of stuff because this is where a lot of my family served in this type of stuff. Not a lot of my family. Not an abnormal amount of family of mine have served in it. I mean, there's military families that served way more than my family has. So I'm not trying to claim none of that stuff. But it's not following an ideology to appreciate your history and to appreciate what it's like to be to be an American and that type of stuff. You know, it's to promote the society that argues about who goes into what bathroom or who gets a daggone, you know, is a he or she a he, you know, all that stuff. That stuff that allowed that stuff to happen. So if you're one of them type of people, which is fine, what allowed us to have this society for that type of stuff to happen
these were the roots of it, to allow us to have the freedom to have these kind of conversations and human rights, conversations and things like this. Standing for the rights of people, that's what this is about. Very cool. This was very cool. And if you haven't went and seen a war reenactment, I hadn't. This was the first one I'd ever been to. Of course, I got a soft spot for World War II anyways, because it was actual. And if you dig into it deeper, it ain't cut and dry. If you dig into it real deep, you're like, well, maybe, yeah, the Japs are crazy, but they might have had somewhere to stand. And the Nazis, yeah, they was crazy. Hitler was a psycho, yeah. But if you read your history book, there's been other psychos like Hitler. The German people, the French, and Americans, and, well, not so much Americans. I think we could take the high road on this one, but maybe not. But we couldn't take the high roads on the Japs. America did some, there's a lot to it. What I'm saying, you could study the subject for a year intensely and raise more questions than what you had in the beginning. It's not cut and dry, but it felt cut and dry. World War II felt cut and dry, but it wasn't. And the more you learn about it, the more messy it seems, and the more unfinished it become. It just, that's how long a war is. End of story. Move on. But there's way more to it, and there is way more to it. And those of you that's intrigued by any of this, by all means, dig a little deeper. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. If anything, you'll ask more questions than what you already asked. And it's a sickness get involved in it. And I'm not a hate monger. I love all the people. I'm actually, I researched, I want to get the Little Red Book, Gulag Archipelago, the Pseudo-Japanese Wars, listen to some Dan Carlin. There was a book I did, audio book I did that was Rommel and Montgomery and Patton. Man, Patton's a hero. Yeah, he might have followed an ideology to some of the people that questions stuff, but man, Patton's my hero, man. He was Patton, man. He was a man. Now, and Rommel was a Nazi, and he was a good man. He was just doing his job. He just picked the wrong side, and he paid dearly with his life for picking the wrong side. Not by Americans, by his own superiors. The Japanese people, the Asian people are so contracted, and they're so tight with the way they keep their information and stuff. I can guarantee you there's way more to the Asian side than what, like we all talk about the European theater in World War II. Man, the Asian theater it was a more brutal theater than that. Okay, one book I missed that's a very important book, and it's not for the weak of heart. Only read it if you got grit. You've been warned. But The Raping in Nanking. If you can make it through that book, my hat's off to you. I don't even think I could make it. I made it most of the way through The Raping in Nanking. But this stuff happened, and it never got talked about. It got swept under the rug. And it makes your heart spill for these people. There's heroism in it. There's also brutality in it. And it is as bad as it sounds like it'd be. By far, but you don't hear about it. Nobody talks about it. You know what I mean? Basically, when it was over with, the Chinese and the Japanese both swept everything under the rug. So none of the rest of us could see. But the most deaths and stuff in World War II happened, and the Chinese lost more people, way more people than all the rest of us did. I thought it was 80 million people or something like that the Chinese lost. And the Jews, I think, are credited for 20 million? Don't hold my figure. Maybe it's 40. No, 20. 20, I think 17 or 20 Jewish
million Jewish people perished in World War II. 80 million Chinese people. 80. You never talk about that. Nobody ever talks about that, you know. So, and you see with the world events going on today, you know, to where Chinese is running their own style of gulags, which is good. I want them to bring it to light, you know. If you're going to be communist, man, you can't run in the world, you know, do it. Get it out. Air it out. Let's work through, boys. You know, let's get her done. You know, if you're going to play in the world market and you're going to do this postmodernist stuff, then let's all air out our laundry if that's what we're going to do. You know, I don't make the rules, but I'm saying let's get after it. And they're starting to get after it. And I'm proud of them for getting after it. In Russia, look this up for yourself before you just believe what I'm telling you, because I don't know that I did all my research on it, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. That, and somebody comment down below if they got the link or whatever to it. I'll try to boost your comment up. Before a Russian kid graduates high school, they are forced to read the Gulag Archipelago. Think about it. I looked at the other day, I looked at the top 20. I was looking for a book to read. The top 20 books in America, the top 20 books to read. Book number 1, A Communist Manifesto. Are you kidding me? A Communist Manifesto is number 1. What the hell is people smoking right now? And it's all going to come to light. I mean, I know that was just they call that reflectance. They call that reflectance. You know, when Trump was in, Trump was in main swing and it's all political, you know, and the number 1 selling book was the Communist Manifesto. Ridiculous. But no, I'm sorry, and I don't. Yes, I do mean disrespect to Karl Marx. I do mean that. Sorry. But anyways, let me shut this off before I get flagged all over that daggone internet. This will never be another video like this and longer wait again. But I'm telling you, read your history. Read your daggone history. If we're doing this human rights stuff, we're doing all this stuff, we're doing, you know, and we're marching in all this mess and making craziness and all that stuff, read your history. Don't be an ideologue. Please, read your history. Educate yourselves. Please. Have a good one. Everybody, later on.